Hi, friends. Happy Saturday. Welcome to today's video. This is episode 5. Can you believe we're on episode 5? We're nearing the end, though, so I will say we probably legit only have one more episode left after today's episode. We are having somewhat of a rainy, chilly day here in Myrtle Beach, which I am loving because I feel like it's definitely making fall feel real. I've got my trusted water here along with my grapes. We are just going to have ourselves some fun as we try to get through episode 5. You all know I love all things beauty. This episode, I am going to be sharing with you a few things that happened during the pandemic. Better time for me to talk to you about this lipstick that I'm wearing. I am wearing a beautiful, beautiful red shade of lipstick from the company Cellmetics Beauty. Cellmetics Beauty reached out to me a couple months ago asking me if they could send me a few products from their line. Me loving beauty the way I do, I couldn't pass up the opportunity because this company catered to the aging beauty of people like myself. I really wanted to give it a test and share my thoughts on. I'm wearing this beautiful bright red color. It's called Fiora, and again, it's by Cellmetics Beauty. It is a very moisturizing lipstick. You all know I have so many issues with my lips being dry, and the fact that this lipstick is moisturizing has given me a love for this line. My two favorite things to buy is lipsticks and mascara. I'm always looking for the perfect lipstick and the perfect mascara. I also chose the volumizing and lengthened mascara in the shade black, which is what I have on my eyes right now. I don't know if you can see it very well. I have such a great love for the mascara as well. The wand itself is very small, which allows for anyone with short lashes like myself to be able to easily apply the mascara. Because of my short, stubby lashes, I could not pass up the opportunity to try their lash enhancing serum. Unfortunately, I just started using this 2 nights ago because I really wanted to wait till a time where I felt like my life had quieted down a little bit. I was doing quite a bit of traveling. I wouldn't be able to focus on how well the serum was working if I was in and out and maybe not using it the way I needed to. I did receive a lipstick in the shade Garnet. Garnet is a really pretty shade, but unfortunately, when I received it in the mail, this one had melted. I'm not sure what the difference was, why one came melted and one didn't. I reached out to the company and they did offer to send me a replacement lipstick. But because I honestly didn't feel like the shade was going to be a shade for me, I would be so excited to try your eyebrow pencil because I do have the salt and pepper brows right now that I'm not loving so much. And I am actually in the market trying to find the perfect eyeliner or eyebrow pencil, something. I don't know what. I'm just in the market to find that right thing that's going to work. I have one that I've been using, but I feel like there's something else out there that I just don't know about yet. I had asked for their brow pencil, but unfortunately there was a mix in communication. In the miscommunication, I ended up receiving another volumizing and lengthened mascara in the shade black. Because I don't need two of them, I decided to share the wealth. I want to do a giveaway. In order to have an opportunity to be the proud owner of this mascara, all I ask is that you make sure you subscribe to my channel. Share with me something that you took from any one of my breast cancer testimony videos, followed by a heart at the end. Then I will choose randomly one of you to win this mascara. You may be asking yourself, what is Cellmetics Beauty? Cellmetics Beauty started with hundreds of conversations where women sharing their frustrations with products that left their skin parched. Women scanned makeup aisles, finding nothing designed for their hooded eyes or their thinning lashes, both of which I unfortunately suffer from. Many women felt invisible with an industry obsessed with youth. Women like myself who simply wanted to look their best at 65, 70, or 80. There is something to be said about aging gracefully. To be successful, the formulas were not tested on 20-year-old models, but they were tested on real people in our age group, just like you and me. Results of all the hard work and testing was makeup that actually worked for mature skin, products that glided over textured skin without catching, colors that bring warmth back to the faces that deserve to shine, tools designed for the hands that might not be steady as they once were. 3 of the best sellers are Long-Wearing Velvet Lipstick, Peptide Lash Growth Serum, and Cellmetics Pro Age Volumizing Lengthened Mascara. I love all 3. For the next 30 days, by clicking on my affiliate link below, you can save 15% on your next purchase. Scan the website to find that item that's perfect for you. With the holidays coming up, I'm sure there's someone that you know that would love to have the opportunity to test out Cellmetics Beauty. And make sure you click on the link within the next 30 days for your 15% savings. Let's get back to the regular scheduled program. Now that we've got all that out of the way, let's get into episode 5. I did follow through with the 21 days of prayer and fasting, so much so that I actually ended up going through all the way through March of doing the prayer and fasting. For each prayer, for every day that I fasted, I just felt a closeness that I had never felt with God, and I just wanted to continue. I had no desire to stop. Hubby was right along with me for the first 21 days, but then actually he decided that he was going to stop at the 21 days, which put him right at the time that he was moving to Jamaica. Yes, my husband in the month of February moved to Jamaica with his dream job in sales at a resort, which is something he has always wanted to do. So it was such a blessing for him to get that opportunity. Little did we know that it would be short-lived, a short moment. He did have his dream job in Jamaica. In mid-March, which was spring break for the university, I did travel to Jamaica to spend a week with my husband. That week was definitely an experience for me, an experience that I have really never talked about until in today's video. I don't know that I've ever actually said any of it out loud, and I know I've never shared it with my husband. So today is going to be a little bit of me opening up, letting you in definitely on a side of me that I at some point thought I would just take to my grave. I would never say it out loud, but I feel the need to share it today as I am sharing my testimony, because hindsight being what it is, I see now that all of this was happening for a reason. So there were 3 things that happened to me while I was in Jamaica that are unexplainable. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm going to do my best to share it with you all. Take from it what you will. One morning, I woke up, hubby had gone to work. I walked out on the patio. I was looking out and I had a feeling of sickness that fell over my body. Now, what does that feel like? I can't explain to you what a feeling of sickness feel like. All I can say is that something felt different within my body. I chalked it up to being, I'm probably jet lagged. I'm sure I'm fine. I'm just having a moment. Second thing that happened, hubby and I decided one day that we were going to go get in the ocean on our swimsuits. We went out to the water. I do have a fear of water. I cannot swim and I don't like to get my face wet. Hubby is such a great swimmer. He was all over the place in the water. He was having a great time. I was watching him, but I was standing in literally waist deep water. I was like, I'm not getting any further in. Come out with me, he said. And he took my hand. And as we were walking out into the water, I was very nervous. He says, you're going to be fine. Don't worry. As I got a little bit further out to the water, I think the water was probably at the bottom of my breast. I want to say somewhere in that area. I remember standing there for a few minutes, and as I looked out into the sun and how the sun was shining over the water, I thought I saw a face. I rubbed my eyes, I blinked, I looked again, and the face was still there, but I couldn't make out the face. It wasn't a familiar face. It was a masculine face, but it wasn't a face that I could identify with. I thought to myself, that's kind of weird. I remember looking around at other people thinking, is anybody else seeing anything out there? Or is this just me? Nobody seemed to be affected, not even my husband. He was doing his thing and talking and laughing. And I'm thinking, okay, nobody sees this but me. Again, I just kept quiet. I didn't want to say anything. Then I heard a voice. I heard a voice said, the salt water is healing to the body. Dip your entire body into the water, my friend. Dip your entire body into the water. Again, I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, is anybody hearing this except for me? Like, nobody's making any gestures. Nobody's acting as if they heard anything. So I'm thinking, okay, I am really losing my mind. This is not jet lag. I don't know what's happening to me. But I felt the desire to be obedient. And I looked at my husband and I said, I think I'm going to dip my whole body into this water. And I remember him looking at me with disbelief, like, yeah, right, girlie, you're not going to do that. But sure enough, I dipped my entire body into the water. I grabbed my nose, I went down, and now I'm going to say I didn't stay down there very long, but I did. I dipped my entire body into the water. And I remember as I came up from it, I felt refreshed. I felt a feeling of peace and happiness within my body. I didn't really know how to explain it. And again, I kept it all to myself. This was something, again, I thought, nope, nobody's going to call me crazy. So I didn't share it with anybody. The third thing that happened to me, hubby and I were going somewhere. He had made friends with one of the guys that was a taxi driver. He pulled into the gas station to get some gas, and he came back out of the gas station with sugar cane. He offered me some sugar cane. I smiled at him and said very graciously, no, thank you. And he said, come on, sugar cane is healing to the body. You have to try it. You can't come to Jamaica and not try sugar cane. Reluctantly, I tried it. I chewed a little bit of it. I didn't like the texture. The taxi driver looked at me and said, well, at least you did try it. Again, he repeated himself. We Jamaicans believe that sugar cane is healing to the body. At least you did try it. I'm having all these weird feelings. First, I feel a feeling of sickness. Then I hear voices tell me that I need to immerse myself into the salt water, that the salt water is healing. Here I'm sitting in this van and I'm being offered sugar cane. Again, the word healing is coming into effect. I'm thinking to myself, this is all weird to me, but I didn't want to say anything because, again, I'm not really understanding it and I don't want anybody to call me crazy. So I'm just keeping all of this stuff to myself. Fast forward to the time that I am now back in San Antonio and it is time for me to go to my annual pap smear, which was at the end of March. I'm at my pap smear. It goes through as normal. Doctor does all the things. He does the breast exam. He hands me my orders. He says, everything looks good. I'm sending you for your mammogram. When I called to make my appointment for my mammogram, because the doctor had not found anything, my mammogram was just going to be a routine mammogram, which meant because we were in the pandemic, routine mammograms were being pushed back to the month of June. The nurse asked me when did I want my mammogram, that I couldn't have it before June. I don't remember the exact date, but I did schedule my mammogram for the first week of June. Between the time of March and June, which is when I had my mammogram, the world shut down. Hubby had to come home from Jamaica. When he came home from Jamaica, he brought along with him his boss and his boss's wife, who we thought were going to be finding an Airbnb somewhere. But because the world was so crazy, that was almost unheard of to find the Airbnb within price range. He ended up staying with us. We decided this one day that we were going to go to the dollar store. We went into the dollar store and we picked up all kinds of silly little makeup. But one of the things we picked up was some eyelashes. She and I both had never had experience with false eyelashes, and we both wanted to try them. We came home, we sat at the kitchen table, which is this very table that I'm sitting at right now, and we played like two little girls playing in their mother's makeup. I mean, we painted our nails, we were putting on blush, we were trying on lipsticks, and of course, we played with the false eyelashes. We wanted to master the false eyelashes. The first few tries were very much unsuccessful. We looked like clowns. We'd have an eyelash up and an eyelash down. It was hilarious. We kept on playing until we finally had mastered the look of our false eyelashes. We walked around the house playing like little girls, talking about our little false eyelashes. We had so much fun doing so. Fast forward to the day of my appointment. I had actually sold, I want to say, a couple of my purses to one of my subscribers, Monique. Monique, hey girl, hey. I was on my way to the post office before the appointment where I was going to mail out the purses to her. And I was standing in line, not really thinking about how long it was going to take me to get through the line at the post office. To the lady in front of me, I think I'm going to have to leave because the line is too long and I have a doctor's appointment. A gentleman that was about 2 or 3 people in front of me heard me say it and said to me, you have a place to go. I have absolutely nowhere to go. I hate for you to miss your appointment or have to come back to the post office. As I was taking a step forward, I almost dropped the box that I had in my hand. And so I cuffed myself to grab a tighter hold to the box. But as I did that, I remember feeling something in my right breast. My heart stopped. At that moment, I knew something was wrong. I went into the examination room. The nurse did the usual things that they do. I think she started with my right breast, took the first set of pictures, and then she walked over to me and asked me if I had felt anything strange in my right breast. And I said, yes, I did a little bit ago. Right before I got here, I think I felt something strange, maybe like a lump. I'm not real sure. She said, yes, I'm seeing something on the screen. So from that point on, my whole world changed. A few minutes later, I found myself getting an ultrasound. Within a couple of days, I was having a biopsy. I found out that I indeed had breast cancer. At this point, I'm going to ask you to go back and watch all of my breast cancer diaries videos. I do have them in a playlist. I think it'll put everything in perspective for episode 6, which will be my finale. My final video won't post until 2 weeks from today. I want you to have the chance to watch my breast cancer diaries video. There was a method to my madness, you will see. In order for you not to miss the finale, make sure you hit the subscribe button and have your notifications on. As we close out this video, don't forget to comment below something that you took from any of my testimony videos. It doesn't have to be this one. It could be the very first one, the second one, any of them. Comment something that you took from that video, followed by a pink heart for your opportunity to win one of Cellmetics Beauty volumizing and lengthened mascara in the shade black. Again, I'm going to read all of your comments and I will choose randomly one of the comments that touch me the most. Thank you for making it through to the end. My regular uploads will still apply. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.